What's up, otakus? It's your tour guide here. Um, Now, I just posted a video uh, earlier this evening where I kind of went over, what we're targeting and sort of the checklist of Jim Lee books, what's in my collection, and what's still. I think we still got over we got about 100 for what is it? Almost 200 books left. No, 180 books left. Jim Lee books left to really kind of be at a point where I feel like we have all his books. The thing about the Jim Lee list is it's 180 more books that I need to pick up as of now, like at this point in time. That's not, the thing is, Jim is still putting books, he's still putting covers out there. He's, who knows, he may start, at any point he could just start doing a run of something or start like a mini series or just there, you never know. But right now he's putting out, um, a lot of just cool variant covers. That's fine. Those are a little harder to pick up, but you know, uh, I guess, I mean, if he's going to do it, we just have to at some point either get on board or just let them pile up. But his body of work is definitely getting to a point where it's not an easy thing to try and collect. So that's the thing, like his body of work is growing as we continue to target. So we're just kind of slowly checking things off the list as his body of work continues to grow. So yeah, this will be probably something I'll continue to do and enjoy my retirement. And we'll see how that works out. But at some point, Jim Lee has to slow down and stop, and then who knows? I mean, he and I aren't that far apart in age. In terms of age, he is older. He's several, maybe like 10 years older than I am. But no, not quite 10, under 10 years older than I am. But he's going to slow down, and we'll see. I mean, a lot of these artists, they're still going at like 70, 80. So we'll just have to see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, and that's good. I just hope he continues to create until the very end. So we'll just get to continue to enjoy one of the best comic book artists. I mean, arguably the best, but I think overall most consider him one of the best to ever hold a pen and or a pencil, I should say, pencil or pen. Take your pick. And I obviously put him as the best. That's getting a little bit more nuanced because we have Peach Momoko, and you all know my thoughts on Peach Momoko. I think she is just like, in terms of like artists right now, and that's Jim Lee included, artists right now. Her cover game, her just art game is just on another level, and that includes, I think you could, throw Jim into that mix. Like she's on another level, even beyond Jim and just any artist out right now. But I still would. Jim Lee is still my favorite artist, and he's the one I'm my collection is focused on, just because I, I basically was there from the beginning, even up to now. Peach Momoko was more of a modern artist, and she's done a lot of work in that very short period of time, and she's definitely dedicated. She just puts out a lot of work. She also is very engaged with fans, so she's just a great artist. So those two are my favorite, and I'm sure at some point, it'll just be Peach and Jim at the end of the day. Like for me, like in terms of like collecting, and it's hard to keep. I mean, I could just radically shift my focus to just picking up Peach books, um, which would put me out of more money because her books. That's the thing about her books is like the thing about Jim Lee books is like you can still find Jim Lee books in like dollar bins and like they're reasonably priced. You know, considering. I mean, that's some of his variant covers, his more modern variant covers. Those are pretty pricey, but like back issue, you go back issue bins, you can pick up Jim Lee books. But Peach, I mean, from the get go, like people love her art, and whenever she comes out with variant covers, they kind of sell out, and it's hard to find Peach. It's hard. I mean, if you're actively looking for Peach when the comics come out, you can pick them up for cover. But rarely do you find them in like bargain bins, or I mean, that's really rare to pick up something Peach does undercover, let alone like $1 or something. I mean, it's almost impossible. She's just so popular and such a hot commodity in the hobby. And again, we should be celebrating her. Just love her work. So as you can see, I have a lot of my favorite Jim Lee books are right behind me. If you were to ask me, like, which is your favorite Jim Lee book or cover of all time, that's a difficult one to pinpoint, to really. And but I mean, I do have my favorite, and I've shared it on the channel before, so I'll just let you go back and watch. It hasn't really changed from that, but you can go back and watch my past videos to see which book or books constitute my favorite, my best Jim Lee cover, what I consider to be the best book. And what we're going to do today is just, I'm going to open up, I'm going to kind of let you sit in on me just kind of doing an inventory of my Jim Lee books. And I'm just going to pull books and kind of share the ones that I think are my favorites, and kind of give you sort of the rationale behind why I think the books are why the books deserve special attention or focus. So let's see here. I'm going to start with the early Jim Lee stuff here. And I keep my a lot of my Jim Lee books in like these book binders, just so they're extra protected and kind of keep them in order, and I can just easily flip through and pull out the ones that are nice. So I guess we'll start with some of the key books in terms of like career markers. This is his first artwork ever for Marvel Comics, and these are hard to find. I'm always on the lookout for these in dollar bins. You'll find other like these Marvel universe. This is basically just an encyclopedia of all the characters. they actually break down like their powers and like their strength, their weaknesses, what their special abilities are, and everything. It's quite a good read, and it's so comprehensive. It covers every character. I mean, if you were to do it now, it'd just be ridiculously like broad, because you're talking about like what, almost 100 years worth of characters and storylines and whatnot. So it'd be quite an undertaking. But back in the 80s, the Copper Age, they did that. They attempted to just go through and catalog all. So this one was a special Book of the Dead, all the dead characters they kind of compiled. And Jim Lee does one panel in this. Just one page, one panel. And it's his first, it's marked as his first work. Hey, Damien, how's Rose City? Yeah, Jim Lee, Punisher Original 7 is also, I'm getting to that, but it's also, yeah, it's a classic. That cover is amazing. Both 6 and 7, I would say, are both incredible. Yeah, how was Rose City, Damien? Did you have fun? Looks like you had a good time. Did you pick up a lot of comics? Oh, you missed a Jim Lee panel. Ah, that's too bad. 10:30 in the morning. Yeah, but was there a long? I guess you couldn't see. I guess they do the signing things kind of off to the side. Oh, Jack Kirby tribute panel. Nice. Yeah, I'm just going through my Jim Lee books. Kind of just going through my favorite, like the notable books in my collection. There's a lot of books, but not all of them are necessarily notable. This one is definitely notable. His first cover and first full interior on a book. So cover and interior. So that's Alpha Flight 53. And this is the one really I think people should. I mean, the first art is great. Soulsome Christmas is great. His first artwork is noteworthy, and his first interior work in comics is also noteworthy. But if I were to have a choice between any of those books that I'd own, it'd be this one, because again, first cover, Wolverine cover, just an absolutely yellow cover of that. I've yet to see this in 9.8 anywhere. I looked on the census. There are, I think, there's a handful, like 3 9.8s on the census for this yellow cover one. Hey, Naman Young. I thought you'd be asleep, but I guess you're still up. Great. I'm just going through books again. Just gonna pull out ones I think that are notable. This one, I love this cover. It's I think he did the interior and the color cover on this one as well. I think he did the interior on this one as well. But Conan 219. Look at that. Man, this is early Jim Lee too. 89, I think. So 219. Loving that cover. Yeah. Conan 219. Love that cover. I think Raphael's mentioned Punisher Original 7. Definitely one of our favorites. Definitely one of our favorites, as well as 6. 6 is in here somewhere. I don't have it. It's separated in one of my. It's in one of these binders, or he did. He did. Jim has done 1, 2, 3. I think he's done like 5 or 6 Conan covers, and I think they've all been covers. Now that I think about it, he might have done one interior. I know also Todd McFarlane did a Conan cover as well. Those guys were just kind of like rock stars, so they probably let Todd and Jim do whatever covers they wanted, and they did ended up doing a lot of random covers for Marvel, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about Jim Lee's run on Punisher War Journal. He did do like he started as kind of like a penciler for Carl Potts, and then eventually took over the run. And Carl Potts just focused on writing, and yeah, he ended up doing like some like 16 issues, interior covers, everything for the Punisher War Journal. And I don't understand why Punisher that run of Punisher War Journal isn't more like sought after or higher, like in terms of prices and stuff. I don't understand why they're still dollar books, to be honest. Yeah, 6 and 7. Yeah, they are later Conan issues for Jim books. Yep, go pick up those Jim Lee, and this is another. I always it's one of my favorite covers. This is probably 6 is probably my most favorite cover in the whole. Well, okay, 6 and 19. I'll get to 19 in a minute. 6, 19 are probably my favorite covers, but this is definitely up there as well. And this is one of the only Spider-Man Jim Lee covers you'll ever. It's the only. I mean, I have a San Diego Comic-Con where he draws Spider-Man as well. So those are the only 2 Spider-Man covers I know that Jim's ever done. I'm sure there are more out there, but those are the only 2 I'm aware of. But so also I should say the previous issue also has Spider-Man, so there's 3. 14 has Spider-Man, but his Spider-Man here on 15 is just, look at that. Could you imagine if Jim had done Spider-Man as well? Like he was if they assigned him to do Spider-Man and X-Men, like the 2. I mean, obviously that's a big workload, but had we been blessed at during his time at Marvel with a Spider-Man run, man, that would have been just epic. Because look at that Spider-Man, the Jim Lee Spider-Man. That would have been epic. Maybe someday. I'm still hoping he comes back to Marvel and does Spider-Man. They just like DC and Marvel find a way to get him to just do Spider-Man, and then he can call it a career, basically. Yeah. Isn't it? Okay, so this is my probably my and I've shared why. It's just a great cover. It's the Punisher on a jet ski. It's just hilarious. I love this cover. It's awesome, and it's the last. This is Jim Lee's sort of bon voyage to the run. It's his last book on Punisher War Journal, and he ends it with a big bang. He blows up that jet ski. I mean, there's just so many great covers. I just don't want to because if we got to the point where he's just pulling out what we think are great covers, we'd be here all night. So this is one of my favorite books as well, for obvious reasons. Yeah. And Jim's in the cover too. This is the first cover appearance by Jim Lee. So for Jim Lee collectors, this is a definite must-have because you got Elektra there, you got Will Portacio sleeping in the background. I think that's Scott Williams over there in the back as well. That's supposed to be Todd McFarlane, I guess. Yeah, that's supposed to be Todd. I don't know who that is in the background. It's not Scott Williams. Anyway, it's sort of Jim kind of drawing, making fun of the work culture at Marvel a little bit. Love that cover. Love it because of Jim's just you get how he's just poking fun at himself. So you get a glimpse into his personality. Yeah. Okay, so that's sort of the early Jim Lee Marvel books. And we're going to go to X-Men now. We're going to go to X-Men. Now, I have pretty much his entire run of X-Men books, meaning any work he's done in a book, whether it's cover, interior, I pretty much have every X-Men book, minus one. I have got one last book that I have to check off the list, and it's just really just a cover. It's a cover. I think it's X-Men 2. Let me take a look here. So I'll have it on my checklist of things to get. It is... Oh, I don't have it. Maybe I did. Maybe I recently picked it up. I don't think so. I'll have to check. I might have picked it up. I might have picked it up. So let's just check. If it's anywhere, it might be in here, but we'll have to see. I don't think I did pick it up. I know I was looking at it. I ran across some really sort of mid to low grade copies that I could have picked up for like a few bucks, but I just resisted. If we're going to pick it up, that last book, we'll pick it up like a good high grade copy. So just going through, this is, for me, this book here this is where we get the first appearance of the new Psylocke costume design. I mean, raise your hand if you love the Psylocke costume. It's not for everyone. I can see some people being like, Psylocke is not one of my favorite characters or whatnot, which is fine. She's not everybody's cup of tea, but basically Psylocke is like, she's like Elektra, but like more scantily. It's like a more scantily clad Elektra in like dark navy. You know what I mean? It's just like a sexier version of Elektra with like swords and ninja fighting skills. Quite amazing. So anything with Psylocke, you're probably going to get a glimpse at here. These are all great. This one is, I think, the one people tend to focus on because it has Captain America and Black Widow there. That's a great cover. 268. Love that cover. I mean, all of these are just great covers, so I could just show them all to you, but I'm just going to go through the ones that really resonate with me. I've mentioned on many occasions that this is one of my favorite covers. 272, just because of the cable and Storm. This is a great run, and Archangel as well. This one's nice. It's a wraparound, or sorry, it's a gatefold cover. They've got these funky costumes on. This Magneto cover's pretty nice as well. Love the Savage Land there. Return to the Savage Land with Nick Fury there. White Nick Fury, not black Nick Fury. I love Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury, though. Should have been Samuel Jackson from the get-go. That's it. I mean, there's not we could have gone through this entire thing, but for those of you who keep up with Jim Lee's X-Men run, it's not a lot of comics, so I mean, I would encourage people to go pick it up. Again, you're talking about maybe 12 to 13 books right there in the Jim Lee run, so it's not like a big lift to try to collect them all. And again, you can find most of these for $3 to $5 at any comic convention or comic shop. Yeah, we should. If Jim has one, tangible legacy, he gave us Elektra. Okay, he gave us Elektra. I'm sorry, not Elektra, Psylocke. He gave us Psylocke. Because Psylocke was not a very good character. She was kind of weak and effeminate and kind of useless, really. And then he just made her so badass. So that's, we can thank Jim for that. So we go through X-Men, and then he starts a second volume of X-Men in the 90s that from the get-go becomes the best-selling. Exactly, Gator knows what's up. So he starts the second run of X-Men. It, basically Todd launches a volume of Spider-Man, and that sells 2 million copies. He didn't create Gambit. He did not create Gambit. I think Gambit appeared in a comic. His first appearance was supposed to be in X-Men. I forget the number, 270 something, 6 was it or something? But and that cover was drawn by Wills Portacio. But there was a annual or something that came out that came out a little premature, so it ended up being Gambit's first appearance, and that was, I think, drawn by I want to say Art Adams, but I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. Let's see here. We've got so again, this X-Men run's great. Everybody knows the covers like the back of their hand. It really is like, I mean, you talk about iconic. When something's like sells 8 million copies, it's seared into the minds of a generation of collectors. And I think even to today, like you talk to probably younger collectors now, they all know this book, right? They all know the significance of this and the fact that they can find this probably at, like they can walk into a comic book store and just go to the X and they'll find a couple copies of these for like selling for like $3 to $5. But yeah, one is a great cover, but this is actually one of our favorites in the collection right here. The annual. Yeah. The annual. You got it front and center right there. It's a great cover. And the annual is one of those things like it's just a cover. Generally just does a cover. It's not like he worked in the book or anything, but it's one of those like, I feel like it's kind of a slept on book. People think, oh, he only did 1 through 11 in the run, and they, collectors think, oh, that's all I have to pick up in terms of Jim Lee books. No, there's the annual too. You don't forget the annual. There's actually 12 books in this volume 2 run that you should be focused on. Let's see other notable. So as you know, I traded for the Omega Red. This was the last book I had to pick up to finish this run. And thanks to Comics Wanderlust for trading, and I traded away my Adam Hughes Catwoman cover for this, and like 2 other books, and I don't regret it one iota. Again, this was just a pricey book because of the first appearance of Omega Red, but I don't think, like, to be honest, I think like this cover is way better than that number 4. Like in terms of just covers, like this is way better. Like you got him fighting, and you've got Wolverine's adamantium skull exposed. That's just awesome. The kind of stuff you like to see on a comic book cover. Also one of our favorite covers for aforementioned reasons. Yes. We love Psylocke. So I love Elektra. I love Psylocke. I love Wonder Woman. Yeah, I actually just, there's a Supergirl. I love our female superhero characters. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, this is the other one, I guess, notable one, number 11 in the run. Again, I'm just kind of going through and I'm not trying to show you every cover. I'm just trying to show you the ones that are like my favorites. And I guess we'll go to this one now. Yeah. This is my DC. It's mainly Superman. It's my Superman books. Okay, this is a great one. This is Superman. So let me pull out 204 as well. So I just have them both. So as many of you know, this book is currently at CGC. I got it signed along with the Batman second print. So it's the mirror images of them on on like gargoyle structures, essentially. This is a steel one. Batman's on the stone one. Just great mirror images. But 204 is a great cover. So this is just iconic. That's an iconic Jim Lee Superman cover. But this is also pretty significant. This is a Michael Turner cover for 203, and it includes a 6-page Jim Lee sketchbook of the upcoming Azzarello run. So, yeah, if you're going to go after the Jim Lee run on Superman, make sure you pick up the preview as well. That's you don't want to miss out on that. But yeah, 204 is an amazing cover. It's probably, I'll just say it off the bat, like 204, that Batman and 204, those are the two favorite covers in the collection by Jim. They've yet to be supplanted in terms of favoritism. Now this cover here is not a Jim Lee cover. It's a Michael Turner cover. It's the variant for 205. Just a beautiful Michael Turner cover. Oh man, it's just an amazing cover. We love that cover too. Again, it's the variant, Michael Turner variant, which is just a very odd. Like Michael Turner just does that one variant. It's the only variant in this run. Just a very odd placement for the variant. And then we have, this is the standard cover that Jim did on the run. So it's we're glad to have the Michael Turner variant stick now on 205. We're happy for that. Again, this is just like the X-Men. There are a lot of great covers. I'm just not going to go through all of them. I think this one is another great cover. And I remember when I first saw this cover, I was just kind of like, oh, like, Wonder Woman there standing with a sword. Superman looks spent. He's has the lassos tied around his neck. He looks like he's gone. He's a goner. Boom. Who doesn't love that cover? I love that cover too, man. And Naman, you and I were talking about Gustav Klimt, The Kiss, that painting. This reminds me of that painting. It's not like an homage to that or anything. It just reminds me. It has that same energy as that painting, essentially. The Kiss evokes the same emotions. Moving through. His run on Justice League is also great. This is a great cover. But the only thing about this run that I don't like, and I've expressed the view on different occasions, is Superman's suit. They decide, hey, you know what? Red underwear. Come on, let's make his suit a little cooler. The geniuses at DC said, let's change Superman's costume, and they went with like a unit, like a monotone suit. It's all blue. And it was probably the worst decision ever. It's just a horrible suit. He looks naked. He looks naked, if you ask me. And I'm glad they went back and gave him back his red underpants, because that suit was just atrocious. And look at this thing. Look at that thing. He just looks naked. That's not Superman. Come on. Things people do to. You don't need to change Superman. Keep him as is, please. Like Batman, I can understand Batman's getting upgrades, because he actually needs armor out in the world, because like he's just a regular guy. He gets hit by if he gets accidentally knocked into by like any one of these heroes, he'd be dead. He'd be dead. So he's got to have the protective armor and stuff. So, I guess we're just going through. Yeah, I mean this is the other one. This is one of Jim's covers. Actually, inked by. I shouldn't say inked, painted by Alex Ross. So it's a Jim Lee Alex Ross collabo. And it's just got Alex Ross vibes all over it. But at the same time, it's Jim Lee. It's, yeah, I mean, it's just mind-blowing, because I've, looked at Jim Lee art all my life, and to see this kind of like Alex Ross take on Jim Lee was like pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Gotta say I mean, I do prefer just like Scott Williams on inks for Jim's work, but Alex Ross is not happening either. Okay, so we're almost done here, and I guess the last thing I really need to cover is Jim's Hush Run, the Batman Hush Run, which we'll get to right now. Here it is. Now, again, I'm leaving a lot of books kind of out. I mean, I'm not even covering his Image stuff. He's got a lot of great covers for Wildcats and Image as well. I just, I just want to focus on the stuff I think, again, the covers I think are my favorites. They're all my favorites, but just the really ones that are worth mentioning. I do want to feature this book a little bit. It's a Indian variant cover. It's a mini comic book. So it's an Indian comic book, but it's in English, because India is a former British colony, and also English is just one of the official languages. And everybody, like most educated Indians, speak and read and communicate like fluently in English. So it makes sense to have an Indian comic in English. But it's the 25 rupee variant cover. It just sounds weird to say that. It's 25 rupees. I don't know what that exchange rate is, but it's 25 rupees. And there we go. You're good, Young. You're good. I was just talking to myself. So yeah, I've never seen an Indian rupee cover, and I kind of did my research on it, and I don't know of anybody that there's no like literature on it. So I may have the only, I'm sure I'm not the only, I'm sure there are like a million or a billion Indian teenagers or kids. My point is, there are a lot of people in India probably with this comic book or a series of these comic books, but I'm the only one that I know of with one here in the US. We love this cover here. We love this cover. I also have the Frank Miller variant. Now, what's notable about this Frank? So, this is the cover here by Jim of Batman, and the interior of this book is all in color. But this one here, the Frank Miller one, sketch interior in black and white only. It's pretty awesome. This is easily that and this are easily the best, my favorite covers in this run. And there's this, again, a sketch variant of this one as well, black and white sketch variant. I think it books for like 50. It's selling for probably higher than that. And we want to pick that one up at some point, because it's just, again, this is just one of my favorite covers here. So it's something we will eventually want to pick up. There are a lot of great covers. This is oh yeah, I picked up this one recently. So there's a variant cover to I believe it's 604. Yeah, it's 608. The first, you got the standard cover where he's kind of, repelling off his batarang line or whatever. And then there's the second print up there. And then there's this cover, variant cover for 608. Now this is not that variant cover, but this is sort of a reprint of the first chapter of it. So it's a reprint of that cover. I just love that. And here's the standard cover. Love that cover too. This is a great cover. Joker. Jim's take on the Joker is frightening. And again, you could just go with any number of. You could probably show off this entire run of Batman, and it would just be an incredible showcase. But I guess that does it. That does it for the. I guess this is last photos. We like this cover as well. The chess, the Riddler there, moving around the chess pieces with Hush, Joker, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, all the players in this story. Here's another one of my favorite covers. This is a great cover too, but this is the one we really like. Look at that cover right there. Batman, Superman 1. So this is actually, start out 1, 10. It's actually run by Jeff Loeb and Michael Turner, but Jim did several covers for the run. I think this brilliant one, man. All right, so I guess that's that. Thanks for joining me. This was just, I was just going through some of my favorite books. Now, obviously, there's more. I guess I can show the ones on my shelf a little bit because there are some major ones there. I'll get to them in a minute. Just give me a minute here. Put my books in. So again, Jim was in Portland today, I believe. Saturday, yeah. He was in there today. I don't know if he's signing books tomorrow. I don't think he is. Generally, he does the signings for one. He comes up for one day and that's it. But I'm curious I know Bronze Age. I saw a picture on Instagram. Bronze Age got to meet him. Bronze Age was excited to meet him. Bronze collects. I'm talking about Bronze Age Nerd. Bronze Age Nerd collects that era of X-Men, the Copper Age era. I mean, he's trying to collect, I think, the entire X-Men run, which is pretty. I mean, that's a big lift to collect every issue of X-Men. But good luck to him. But again, he's probably got all the Jim Lee books, right? So I'm sure he reveres Jim Lee. Again, who wouldn't? He, outside of Byrne, I think Lee has the best run on the X-Men. But, let's see. I guess we could. Again, we have this book here. This is the one I want to share over here. I'll just take these ones out. So we have our signed copy, the 90 signature of Jim. Love that book. And then we picked this one up recently. It's a Jim Lee signature right there, the 90 signature, but also Stan's signature right there. Oh, man. The Lees. All right, good night, Young. I'll see you tomorrow. The Lees have it. So that was just a nice book to add. I mean, here's my other Stan Lee signature right there. It's just a beautiful signature. Like how clean that signature. Like that's just like Stan is just boom. He's signing books that day. He's happy to be there signing that book. Look at the flare off the E. That's when you know you got a good Stan Lee signature. You get a nice flare off that E. Boom. Just like that. There. Get that flare. It goes all the way up the sleeve there. You want a flare. That's what a signature is really. It's a scribble, but it's a scribble with flair. Okay, that's gonna do it. So thanks for joining me, guys, and yeah, keep looking out for Jim Lee books, and then trade them to me. Okay. All right. See you guys.